Alright guys, today we have a 2014 Honda Accord. This is my friend Andy's car, and we're gonna be changing the valve cover gasket on this car. As you can see, there's a lot of buildup over here. Let me get my light so we can see even better. There's a lot of buildup over here. This gasket started to leak all around, alright? And we're gonna be replacing the valve cover gasket on this car. And if you're doing this job, so my friend Miguel showed up, and so I had to speak to him, and I'm back. So if you're doing a valve cover gasket, make sure you buy a good gasket. I would recommend go to a dealer, pick up the gasket. It's not too expensive, and it's a big job. You know, you gotta know what you're doing here. All right, guys, and here it is. All right, that's the part number there. You can pause the video and look at the part number, and I got it from dealer. This thing less than 80 bucks. Labor is a lot. Also gonna recommend, while you're working at it, replace the PCV valve right back here. I'll order that, but I'll do the whole job, and then I can replace the PCV valve. Don't worry about it. All right, guys, I'll do a separate video on that, and you can follow the link below. I'll post a link for that video. But anyways, I got a couple of tools here. I'm probably gonna need more tools than that. I got number 10 with my gun, with my electric gun, and I got needle nose there. I'm sure there's gonna be clamps like on that hose right there. And then I got me a flathead screwdriver. All right, and I am gonna get a clip removing tool, because I know there's a wires there that's sitting on this cover. All right, guys, that was just a little intro that I gave you, and you could just follow up with me and just do the job yourself. And there's the ignition coils down there. We'll remove those. This harness passes right under this cover. All right, guys, so grab your tools and just pay attention to everything that I'm gonna show you. And I'm sure you're doing it first time, and even me doing it first time on this car, but I've done a lot of valve cover gaskets for the older models. This is something different, but similar procedure. All right, guys, so let's get to it. So let's get to this. All right, and let me set up my camera right here. All right, guys, so to begin with, let's remove this little cover. You should be able to just pull this cover off, and this hose come out. All right, you got the little grommets here that's sitting there. One of the little plastic piece stayed behind. That's this one right here. So what I'll do is I'll just push it back. All right, guys, and there you go. All right, so this will squeeze in there, and then you got the inverts here. All right, guys, so that's to the side. What we'll do next is, whatever bolts we're gonna take out, guys, I'm gonna put them back in the same spot, so I'm gonna keep them in order. So I'll take off the number 10s. All right, there's a whole bunch of number 10s on this cover. Whatever we do, guys, don't drop anything inside the engine if you're removing the plugs. All right, but since we're not removing the plugs in this case, so we don't need to worry about that. But if the plugs do look bad, I will replace the plugs. All right, I gotta set up my camera. It's just bouncing, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, I took off couple of bolts of this valve cover. The cover on top of the valve cover right here. These are the bolts, and these two, they're hard to reach. Okay, I got this one out. They're all the same size, and this one I couldn't reach to it, so I just pulled the cover off with it. So once you have this cover off, you have, I'm gonna have to get that bolt out of there. I'll get that in a little bit. All right, guys, put this to the side. I'll get to the bolt in a little bit, and we'll leave that for last. All right, guys, now we have access to the coils and everything. And what we're gonna do is, we'll take this, and all right, guys, these wirings, there's a lot of wiring on this car, right? So let me get my tool to pop off those clips, because to remove this metal piece here, there's a bolt underneath, or you could just yank this connector itself off. So I'll be right back. Guys, I got me a few more tools, such as this clip remover. You don't really need it. You can use a needle nose to, whenever you need to remove these clips, you just squeeze in the bottom, and you pull up the connector, the clip, and you see that comes right off. You're gonna let that sit to the side, and then all the way over here you can just lift up This is old, you know, they're gonna crack a little bit, that's no problem. And what we'll do is we'll remove the bolts of the ignition coils. They're all 10 millimeter. All right, guys, take your bolts, put them somewhere safe. Don't lose them because you're gonna reuse them. All right, guys, I'll put these over here. And after that, there's like a little clip over here, right on the top, that you can push forward and pull up this harness. And we're gonna pop up all these ignition coils, just pull them up. All right, guys, and we're gonna remove all the ignition coil connectors. I am gonna remove all these connectors because I want more space. Sometimes they can be tough to get out, right? And just put your ignition coils to the side, just like that. There you go. And then I got the last one. All right, guys, you could have just moved this to the side, but I am gonna remove it. All right, guys, there you go. If there's any oil on these coils, that means that coil gotta go, right? I mean, not the coil gotta go, the gasket gotta go. That can cause a misfire. All right, guys, so far so good. All right, and what we can do next is let's remove this little vacuum line here. This vacuum line is for the PCV valve. What it does is it lets the air ventilation inside the engine. Alright, guys, there you go. Just push that to the side somewhere, just like that. So far so good. Again, just want to mention it again. Alright, guys, and we have a harness over here, right, guys? So this harness is gonna give us a little trouble, but we're not gonna let it bother us. All right, guys? And right on this side, you're not gonna be able to see, but there's a small little clip to a couple of cam sensors on this side. So what you need to do is just remove that. I just popped it off with it. You will see it, all right? I will show you later on, guys. All right, so let me take a small break and I'll come right back. All right, guys, we're gonna be working a little bit to this side now. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna show you a few things here, guys. We're gonna dismantle this harness over here, right? So all you're gonna do is you're gonna squeeze these little clips here on the side here, and you're gonna remove all these little clips. Guys, so just squeeze it and pull it, all right, just like that. And then you have 3 of these. Look, that's one. Here comes the second one. And the third one is angled the wrong way, so we're not going to be able to do much there. So what I'll do is I'll try to take this out with my clip removing tool, and I'll try to squeeze it at the same time. Or what you can do is a better idea, right, guys? Just remove that number 10 right there, right? And then we're gonna disconnect the alternator. All right, we're gonna remove that and the AC compressor connector down there. And then I'll go get a tool for number 10. I gotta go get ratchet, all right? I'll be right back, so give me a moment. All right, guys, I got me a number 10, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just remove this little number 10 here, because that clip, I just don't want to break it. You know, this is my friend Andy's car. I don't want to break anything, these clips. So just keep the routing in working order. I don't want that wire to hang there just because I broke the connector, and I'm not looking to put a zip tie. I'll put that little bolt right back there so I don't lose it. All right, guys. Next step. We're gonna take this cover off the alternator. There's a number. It's a 12, all right? So I'm gonna go get 12. All right, guys. So I got all the connectors loose, all right? And now we're gonna take off this alternator cable. I did not disconnect the battery, so be careful. Don't let this touch anywhere on the ground. This is number 12. All right, so we're gonna remove the bolt first, and I'm gonna lift up this cable, let the cover go on, and I'm gonna use black tape, all right? And I'm gonna wrap up this cable so it does not touch anywhere. I'm gonna close this thing, and that thing is gonna be jammed up in there. All right, so if you touch this on the ground, you're gonna be blowing probably the alternator fuse, the main fuse, but after you do this, you should be safe, all right? And you put that to the side, and now you have a lot of room, all right, over here. And I'll remove this little thing, it just comes right out, and you have hell of a room now, right? And you have a little hose back over here. We're gonna remove that, all right? All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove the little hose in the back there. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna take a needle nose. There's a clip there, clamp there. You're gonna push that clamp off. All right, just like that, push the clamp off. And you could use this, be careful, that thing is a plastic, so don't break the plastic that's part of the PCV valve. So just take it easy. It's just look just like that, but a little skinnier. All right, so I got the hose off. Let me take the camera back there so everybody can see. See that little piece right there? That's what I took off from right there. All right, so don't forget to put that back when you're done. All right, now what we need to do is we need to remove all the bolts all around. All right, in the back it has bolts just like this, which you might not be able to see. And then it also has a one little clip over here, which I'm gonna remove right now. And you could use a clip removing tool. Right, let's connect it to this harness also, right? So all this is out of our way, and now we can work very easy. And let me go get an extension and we'll remove all this. All right, guys, so what we're gonna do is you could take these apart in any order, doesn't matter, right? And let me move my light on this side so we can see better. See that bolt? Just follow them all. They should all be either same. If they're different, make sure you put the different ones back in the same spot. There you go. That's 2. There's 3. And then we have 4. So far, they all look the same, all right? This is the same. And then we got one on this side. There you go, same length, same size. And then we got one over here. All right, there you go, same length. I'm not even looking back there, so I'm just feeling it. All right, there you go, another one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 I have so far. And there's one right here. It's number 8, same length. And I'm sure there's one over here. Alright, there you go, number 9. And then this little thing right here, just take it out. I gotta change the battery on my impact gun, electric gun, and there you go. This one is different, so make sure you put it back on that one particular spot. Everything out, guys, all right? So we should be able to lift this cover unless I missed something. Let me just double check. Did I miss something? All right, there's nothing back there. There's nothing over here. There's nothing over here. This corner is out. So gently, I'm gonna use this flathead screwdriver, and there you go. It's gonna be a little difficult because the bores of the spark plugs, they have a little grommets which they go in, and so they gotta slide back out. But if you pull it out evenly, it should come off. There you go. Alright guys, there you go. And here it is, the valve cover, right? And we have the 4 grommets over here, and there's like number 7 on him. We're gonna take this apart and we're gonna replace those as well. All right guys, so let me put this to the side, and let me pull off this gasket. All right, so make sure you don't drop anything in there, and once you remove this gasket, and you can dispose it. All right, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clean this out very good, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I'm gonna be doing here. Let me get a couple of rags and cleaners, and there's a little silicone here. All right, make sure we get that off. Each corners, it has a little silicone. All right guys, I just want to mention, look how clean the engine is in there. It's shiny metal. All right, there's no carbon, none of that stuff is built up. All right, and that's the timing chain over here. And the reason why it's so clean is because of Mr. Andy, my friend here. He's been using synthetic oil, and that kept the engine clean. All right guys, so what I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna wipe all this. If you need to, just disconnect this sensor, so that gives you more room here to work. And what I'll do is I'm gonna wipe all this off, make sure none of that debris goes inside the engine. Just wipe it outwards. All right, most of the buildups is in the front and the back. I'm gonna get this pretty clean all around, guys. Use a couple of rags and just clean it all around. All right, and same thing on the edges here, same thing going back, the back part, same thing. Just try to push all the dust outwards. All right, don't push it into the engine. All right, so next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a blade to scrape off this silicone. If you don't take off this silicone, the gasket will not align properly and you will have leaks. All right, and whatever you grab, make sure you push it out. Little pieces, just whatever you can get, whatever that's not gonna disturb the seal. There's a chunk on this corner. Alright, if you need to, use a flathead screwdriver and then just push it outwards. It's a big chunk here. Alright, stuck between this metal piece. So I'm gonna just push it off that way. All right, so it's hanging there, and I'll just grab it with the pick or something. All right, and then check the back area too. There's going to be silicone on each side, just like in the front. Same thing here, same thing here. So same thing over there, same thing over there. Just don't burn yourself. I'm touching this, but this car is nice and cold. Alright, same thing in the back. There's a big chunk on this side. I'm gonna just break it apart with my flathead screwdriver. Make sure you push it off the engine outwards. Alright, still needs some cleaning. Alright guys, I have it pretty good there, nice and clean. So check this out, look at the back, all clean all around, right guys? And let me set up my camera here again. There you go. Alright guys, so next step is I'm gonna use a little bit of brake cleaner here, but I am not gonna spray it on the engine. Alright, I'll spray it on this rag here to the side here, and then I'm gonna wipe off again all around. Alright, it's very critical you clean this properly. Alright, if you don't clean it properly, no point of doing the job. That's why this job is a little longer than, there's another component you take apart and put in. So I'll get the back area also. Alright, these little areas here, this is where the grommets go. So get that too. There's no oil inside the spark plug bores. You don't need to worry about that. Right? So the silicone area, I'm just trying to get it as much as I can. You know, I want it perfectly clean. And this, the cleaner eats the silicone, and then you can just wipe it right off, all right? So take a good look all around, all right? So, looks very good to me. All right? I did not drop anything inside the engine. All right, guys, so next, what we're gonna do here is, I'm gonna work right here so we can see, right? So everyone can see, you can see, I can see. All right, that should be good for us to see. Right here is perfect. All right. First thing you're gonna do is make sure you don't drop any of your bolts. I know I dropped one down there for the little piece on the top. Clean all around. There's little tracks here, just clean them all right? If there's any silicone on this, make sure you wipe it off, but it's not gonna bother, you know, if it's just a little area there. All right, so let's take a look at one component on this. This is where you put the oil from, and then on this side you have a PCV valve right there. So the PCV valve, it just leads the air flow to this little hose here, and then you have another hose which is up here. So that's all it does, you know, it just releases the air, circulates the air. You got a little hose here, you got a little hose here. I'm guessing this is really connected to the PCV valve because they're right close to each other, and the PCV valve is right down here, and then you can see airflow in there all around, right? So let me get my gasket and we'll continue. All right guys, I got the valve cover gasket here. Comes with the new grommets, and they're like bolted themselves, so there's probably a screw going from the other side. So let me put these here. I have 4 of these and 1 gasket. Comes all in a set. There's the gasket, right? I'm gonna take my gasket, put it to the side for now, and let me get some tools for this. Right, so we'll do this first, and I'm gonna take this whole thing over there so we can have more room to work on. All right guys, so we're over here, and we're gonna remove the 4 grommets in there, and you're gonna need a torque set. This is number T20. So we'll do one by one, all right? So what we'll do is, if you can see, I'm gonna remove these 2. They're not even so tight. You could do them all 4 at the same time, but let's do one at a time. I got this off. We'll flip. All right, so this is the one we took off right here. Let me get a flathead. It's a little jammed in there. Alright, I got my flathead here, and I'll just gently lift this up. There it goes. Let me get a rag also. Alright guys, before we install this, just clean the surface. Alright, and let me get one. Don't stop it, don't stop it. Don't stop it. Alright, so I got one here, new one. Just match it up. Where did I put the old one? Alright, they should all be same, I believe. But make sure you line it properly. And you're gonna take your little torque screw. Make sure you catch the threads by hand. Alright, once you have that, you're gonna just tighten this gently, alright? Don't tighten it too tight. Don't smack the gun on it. If you can, do it by hand. Like I said, this is all plastic. Alright, so we have one in there, and what I'll do is I'll just remove the rest of them. Alright, keep the bolts, they're all the same size. Alright guys, there you go. I have them all loose. That extra work Honda made here for everybody, but so far so good. Alright, take your flathead, pop them off. Should come off easy. That's one. That's two. And this is three. Again, take your rag, make sure you clean the surface. There you go. I'll take 3 of these, just put them to the side. And I got the new ones here. Let me put them somewhere clean. Right, so make sure you line them and put the screw from the back end. There you go guys, it's one. Let me get the screw for the other one. I got that one. Let me grab another one. Let me grab the bolt first. And then second bolt. Alright guys, these are still loose, but I'm gonna get them all in there and then I'll tighten them. Alright, so let me move this here, and this is gonna be the last one. Grab your bolt from the back end. Alright, and this is the last bolt. What I'm doing here guys is I'm trying to catch all the threads. And the hands get oily, so everything just moves around. This one is giving me a hard time, but let me see if I can get it. I still haven't got this one. My hands are really slippery at this moment. My fingers are just slipping. Let me switch hands. There you go. As soon as I switch hands, it's in. Alright guys, so just put your hand in the back when you're tightening and just give it a good snug evenly. Same thing here. Same thing on the middle, last one. I already did the first one over there. Alright guys, that's it. Right? Now, we're gonna put the gasket on, alright guys? Let me wipe my hands. So far we got everything, and the gasket set came with one more piece, which belongs right here. Alright, so you're gonna remove this. And then we have a new one here. Make sure you clean the surface where it's gonna sit at. And we have a new one here. Alright, you can't put it wrong because there's an angle to it. And all you do is you stick it in and you push it in, alright? So we have that, guys. And next what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go get a little bit of silicone. I'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I got me a silicone. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put the silicone on each corner a little bit, just a tap of it. Alright, just select the area. You can do more than a little spot because this is gonna help us just hold the gasket in place. Alright, there I have it, and now we can take this gasket, just figure out which way it goes. And we're gonna put this gasket in there. Alright guys, so let me just figure this out. Which angle does it go in? Alright, so this is, I have it right here, right? Just follow this curve. Oh no, this is it goes this way. Right, it goes that way because this side is a little curved. So we're gonna follow this little curve here, and this gasket should just sit on there evenly. Alright guys, so far so good. So that little bit of silicone is helping me to hold the gasket, because when I flip it upside down it can fall, but that silicone should help me. Alright, even though this gasket is made, it has little grooves into it. Alright, now what I'll do is I'll make sure it's pressed in to the track evenly. Alright guys, there I have it, and we're gonna take this over to the engine and we're gonna install this gasket. Alright guys, we're ready to put this in, and just try to get a hand and push this back for you. Just a little bit of help you need. And when we install this, make sure the grommets here, these little grommets that is gonna sit here, make sure they're sitting properly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this over and just put this valve cover back on its spot. Alright, there you go guys. It's in there, and I got the little grommets going in there. Just work it a little bit more and then it should sit in its place. Alright, now we'll put the bolts in and we'll finish up the job. Guys, we have the gasket in there. Just pay attention to the bores here. The gasket should be evenly in there. I'm sure you guys know the gasket needs to sit in there properly. And now it's time for me to put the bolts in. What I'm gonna do is one by one. I'm not gonna be putting any tool on it. I'm talking about like a ratchet or anything. I'm gonna try to catch all the threads and all the bolts. Alright, I'll get them all first. After that, we do need to torque these. If you need the specs, you can check online or just send me a message. And subscribe if you need any other help. I can help you with anything, you know, not just this one particular job. You can have check engine codes, just let me know. Alright guys, but do subscribe please. Alright, let's move along. Remember that one different bolt which goes right here, because it's gonna also hold that little cover that goes over here. Alright, now we got a few bolts that go in the back. Just don't drop them. I know I dropped one bolt in the beginning of the video for the top cover, but I will get that. I can get that at any moment. But at this point, we do need to get all the bolts in proper place and snug them down a little bit. The back ones you really can't see. I'm not going to be able to show you guys on the camera, but they look just like the ones in the front here. I'm back. I had somebody show up in my door, so 2 more bolts left. One goes right here. One is almost like parallel to between these 2 cylinders, like right close to this number 3 cylinder. So I got that by hand already, and I'm gonna drop this one in there too. This goes right at the end here. Alright guys, I got them all in there. Now I'm gonna snug them all. Your bolt should be going in smoothly and easily, alright? Shouldn't be like any hesitation with putting these bolts in there, alright? So guys, this is plastic, so be careful, right? Don't over tighten it. And even though those bolts are made, so you cannot just yank the hell out of it. But anyways, what we're gonna do is we're gonna order this in a sequence, such as we're gonna do this one, and then we'll do the one back over here, right? So I'm gonna snug these, alright? And after that, off the camera, I gotta torque these. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to work the gasket out, alright? And I'll do this corner here. Well, let's do the middle here so it can squeeze out outwards, alright? Same thing here. And then we can do this one. And then we can do this one. And then we'll do this one right here. Alright guys, there we have it. Alright, I tighten all these bolts snug, then I'm gonna torque them, and I'm gonna come right back, and after that we'll put everything back together. Guys, everything is nice and tight. Alright, this is torqued to its proper spec. I do like to let this car warm up. That seal will become a little softer, and then give it another touch later on. But let me show you guys how to put the rest of the car back together. Alright, first of all, now we're reversing the procedure. There's a small little connector here, right in the back, and then we have the hose here, which is near the PCV valve I showed you earlier today. And that PCV valve hose has a small clamp to it right back here. Put that in. All right, so that's complete. All right guys, next we're gonna drop all the coils in just like that. All right, so now the job is like a piece of cake. Make sure you put the connectors in and make sure they're in order. Don't mess up the order or you will have a misfire. And there's the last one. And don't forget to put this harness back in the spot where it belongs. Alright, we got a small little bolt that goes here, but that goes with the cover on the top. Alright guys, and this little thing just clips right in. Alright, and now we have 4 bolts for the ignition coil. Before you stick this in, put in the ignition coil bolts, because it's going to disturb you. Alright, so this job is fairly easy. Alright guys, and let me get my little tool from that end. Alright guys, so we're gonna tap these. Again guys, this is plastic. Don't yank it too hard. You don't want to break that gas valve cover itself. Alright, push that clamp in. This little connector here. Don't forget this little hose on this end. Let's push that in right now. And we'll put the clamp on. There you go. Don't forget, remember this little clip on this side I told you guys, which was hard to see. There's a small little clip on this side. Alright, there you go, I have that in. Do not forget to put the oxygen sensor back if you took it apart. As soon as you disconnect, as soon as you turn the key, it's gonna throw in a code for that. Put that connector back right there for the oxygen sensor harness. This job is pretty much almost done. Alright guys, so let's move over a little bit to the side. Alright, so what we're gonna do here is, first of all, we're gonna take this tape off. Let me find the end piece on this tape. And I shouldn't have done that. I should have had left the little area where the tape ends at. So this is where it ends at, I believe. There you go. Got it. Hold it nicely. Do not drop it, alright? Because if you drop it, it's gonna ground itself and you will blow the fuse, alright? So this goes in first, alright? Before you do anything else. Take your number 12. Alright, catch the threads. And then you tighten that. Alright guys, put the boot on. Very critical. A lot of people, they leave it loose. If you're working on this, somebody might have expose this to some kind of metal. Alright guys, so next what we'll do is we'll take this number 10 right here, right down here, number 10. Alright, remember that we removed this number 10 here. Alright, got that in. Take your number 10 with the ratchet or a wrench, whatever you're using. Make sure you tighten that number 10, alright? If you didn't remove the number 10 and you was able to get that clip out, that's even better, right? Nice and tight. Alright. Plug in everything. Don't forget the alternator. Don't forget the AC compressor connector. You forget any of these, it's not gonna charge and the AC is not gonna come on. And then just stick this in. Like I told you, this is a little old, so this might break a little bit, all right, because from the heat, but this is in pretty good shape. All right, guys, we're pretty much done here. I do have to find one little bolt, which I dropped down there. But anyways, I'll find that and I'll put that on. And here comes the cover. Alright, I'm gonna take the number 10s, drop them in. They're all the same size, alright guys? And there we have it. And I'm missing one, I'll find that and I'll put that in. Get it by hand first. Double check everything if you need to before you close this cover. Alright guys, and tighten these by hand. Again, this is plastic, do not break anything, alright? There you go guys. We have everything complete. I got one cover on this side. Let me get this cover on. And don't forget to put that little hose. There you go guys. Alright, this cover just sits there nicely. And put in this little hose. Alright, I'm gonna have to repair this. There's like a little joint that broke. Alright. Anyways, guys, let me get this something for adapter for this. I have adapters. Alright. I'll show you adapter. Alright guys, I'm sorry I wasn't able to show you guys. I had my camera in the wrong angle. So what I did was put this cover on and this little hose broke. And I do have adapters for this. Let me get one right now. Alright, so if you broke that by any mistake, you can buy a kit such as this. It comes with a whole bunch of adapters. So I will fix that up before I start the car. But let me finish up the video. I gotta find the bolt down there. And I need to fix this, and everything else is in its place. Alright guys, thank you for watching. And I will change that PCV valve next. And I will make a video on that and I'll post it. And I'll put a link down below. So thank you, subscribe, and bye-bye. See you on the next one.